cultural appropriation. Though not by any stretch of the imagination a new concept, it's one that the Tumblr crowd has really grabbed onto and made their own over the last few years. The definition of cultural appropriation is the adoption or use of elements of one culture by members of another. See also, America. I mean, the US and Canada essentially have no culture. Some Europeans came over, stole land from the natives who were already living here and had a culture, killed most of them, and then said, okay, so let's do what we were doing over there, but with whatever's available over here, and without that stupid monarchy telling us what to do. In stereotypical fashion, the US took their independence violently, and the Canadians waited about 100 years and then asked politely. Then more people immigrated here, and now North America's culture is a mix of dozens of other cultures. Just a bunch of stuff everyone brought with them, like a fucking office potluck picnic. So cultural appropriation itself isn't inherently bad. What the internet SJWs are referring to would be more appropriate to call cultural misappropriation, when a group, usually us evil white people, make a horrible mockery of something that other cultures hold pretty dear, but these people usually think everything white people do is bad. Take Lena Dunham, for example. She believes that serving poorly prepared sushi is the bad kind of cultural appropriation. Here's the story. Late last year, students at Oberlin College protested that the sushi being served at their school was cultural appropriation and offensive to Japanese people. One student, a Japanese person, wrote this in the school paper. When you're cooking a country's dish for other people, including ones who have never tried the original dish before, you're also representing the meaning of the dish, as well as its culture. So, if people not from that heritage take food, modify it, and serve it as authentic, it is appropriative. First off, they're not calling it authentic. The website for Oberlin's Dascombe Dining Hall, the place where the offending sushi was apparently purchased, lists a place called the Ring of Fire Bar, super Asian sounding, that serves Asian-style cooking. The website was last updated in 2008, so this hasn't been switched since the blow-up. Anyone that thought a place called Ring of Fire Bar selling Asian-style cooking was authentic is a fucking idiot. Of course it's not authentic. You're not in Japan. The kid behind the counter isn't a master itamae that apprenticed for years learning his craft. He's a kid making $8 an hour to steam some instant rice, chop up some fish, roll it all together, and fucking sell it to people to quickly eat between useless English lit and religious studies classes. This recently became relevant again after an interview with Lena Dunham in Food and Wine magazine, where she said this. The press reported it as, how crazy are Oberlin kids? But to me, it was actually right on. No, not right on. It's food. This is one of those pick your battles things, SJWs. Like, I get the native headdress thing. For those of you unaware, people go to festivals and wear a ridiculous approximation of a native headdress, and this upsets people. And I get that one. I can see why people might not be thrilled with a bunch of white people wearing a mockery of a ceremonial garment while running around a field doing MDMA and listening to LCD sound system. The headdress has meaning in the native community as something earned, with historical importance. It's not a fucking Yankee snapback. Modern natives don't wear it as a fashion statement. It's only worn for ceremonial reasons. But sushi is food. It's not just consumed by Japanese people as part of a ritual or on special occasions. It's eaten for lunch, dinner, whenever and wherever they fucking feel like it. Americans aren't taking it and rubbing it on their nipples and then jamming it up each other's asses while going, "Oh, miyaraiki." They're eating it, just like actual Japanese people do. They're consuming it to convert calories to energy to sustain life. Does it suck that this particular sushi was bad? Sure. Is it lazy and a half-hearted effort to offer some choice to students? Absolutely. But it's not fucking racist or culturally insensitive to make bad sushi, any more than overcooking spaghetti would be racist to an Italian person, or selling quickly made shawarma out of a food truck downtown is insensitive to a Middle Eastern person. Of course, maybe these people think that's insensitive too, since all cultural appropriation is apparently bad. To that I say, fuck off. Without cultural appropriation, you'd have nothing. Almost everything you eat, the clothes you wear, the homes you live in, all the recipes, designs, and building techniques are derived from something some other culture did long before we fucking did it. But right on, says Lena Dunham, the woman who's also upset that an action movie has a picture of a gun on the poster and tried to help start a movement to vandalize the ads. Just more oversensitive nonsense from a group that wants everyone to apologize for breathing the wrong way and wants to start fights over the most ridiculous shit. My feelings are hurt because someone made sushi I don't like. I know, instead of just not eating it, we should protest and say it's cultural appropriation. Everyone thinks that's bad. That'll get the internet on our side. If some poorly made food hurts your feelings, oh man, are you in for a shock when you walk out those doors with your diploma and into the real world, away from your safe spaces and your little hive mind of people who encourage this behavior. So here is the last apology you should ever receive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry someone led you to believe that the world gives even the most fleeting of fucks about your feelings. It doesn't.